Hey guys, and welcome to another special edition of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at another top 10 list, and today's top 10 list is going to be of free-to-play shooter MMOs. Now this is the MMODen list. You may have your own list of games that you think should be in the top 10. Go ahead and head on over to MMODen.com/forums and tell us exactly which games you think should have made the list or which games on our list shouldn't be included. We went ahead and compiled a list based upon several different criteria, including player base, graphics, and all kinds of different stuff. So let's get started and take a look at 2011's top 10 free-to-play shooter MMOs. Alright, number 10 on our countdown for the top 10 free-to-play shooter MMOs is Project Blackout. Now, this game has some great and interesting features. You've got immersive battlefields, and destructible architecture, which allows you basically to create your own direction through the map and to wherever you want to go, which is really, really interesting. You've got loads of maps to check out, everything from desert maps to bases to all kinds of different outposts and libraries, and the maps are extensive. And what's really cool about that is it allows you to never get bored with exactly what's going on. And then when you're talking about weapons, you just have loads of weapons to check out, and not only loads of weapons to check out, but loads of weapons for you to upgrade and actually earn upgrades and things of that nature. And then when it comes down to modes, you have deathmatch, demolition, sabotage, search and destroy, AI challenge, all kinds of different modes for you to challenge yourself and actually challenge other players against. You've got mission cards, which basically give you a complete mission system, which you are able to go and do missions and complete missions, earn additional points and experience and gear, stuff like that. An advanced combat training system, which allows you to improve your character and weapons and earn additional weapons and items, stuff like that. Of course, you've got a full promotional system, and graphically, obviously the game is not, this 100% the best game on the planet, but you know what? The graphics are just right where they need to be. So number 10 on the countdown, Project Blackout. Moving on to number 9 in our countdown of free-to-play shooters for 2011, we've got Battlefield Heroes. And this is a 3D third-person shooter with amazing cartoon graphics and a ton of fun. Now in the game you have 3 different classes that you can choose from: Commando, Soldier, and a Gunner. And you definitely have, like I said, stylish graphics, really, really humorous atmosphere with tons of different costumes to wear, and the game really touts a lot of hats that you can play around with. You've got a basic tutorial that you can run through, and obviously this is a Battlefield game, just like other Battlefield games in the series. You can jump into all kinds of different vehicles, ranging from tanks and jeeps and airplanes, all kinds of stuff like that. You also have regular updates to the game with new battle modes, and also tons and tons of different events that go on throughout the year during Halloween, Christmas, and all kinds of different holidays. So jump on in there and check it out. Alright, coming in at number 8 in our top 10 free-to-play shooter MMOs for 2011, we've got APB Reloaded. Now this is set in a modern fictional city of San Paulo, where you can basically take on the role of either side. You can either take on the side of the criminals or the enforcers, and pick which different types of missions you want to take on, and basically different sides of 2 different factions. You got intense, high-speed action, you've got crazy, wide-open city to run around in, and complete missions and do whatever you basically want. Character creation is amazing. You've got every last little detail that you can pick out, hair color, adjusting your face to look exactly like yourself or create a completely different persona. Graphics are highly detailed, right down to the very last little nook and cranny of different cars that you'll carjack or blow up with a wide range of weapons, everything from pistols to semi-automatic to automatic weapons to bazookas, all kinds of different stuff. And coming in at number 7 on our 2011 free-to-play shooter countdown, you've got Crossfire, a game that gives you a lot of options when it comes to characters, playing some of the different special forces units from the world's most elite military. The game plays a lot like Counter-Strike, has 7 different game modes, whether it's Team Deathmatch or Ghost Mode or Free-for-All or Mutation. You've got many, many different maps that go along with those game modes that provide a level of realism. Loads of weapons to choose from, and all kinds of different ranks to earn. Definitely a game to give a try. Doesn't have the greatest graphics, but definitely has a nice, large player base that you can always find a game in. Next on our countdown at number 6 comes in with Microvolts. Now Microvolts is a cartoony toy shooter which has some very, very interesting characteristics. Now you've got 9 different game modes that you can play from and 10 plus different maps, and all the maps are really uniquely designed and meant to house the toys that you actually play in the game. You've got loads of different weapons, and one of the very unique systems inside of the game is the fact that you can actually upgrade your weapons to different levels so they actually do more damage and stuff like that. The character creation is a little bit limited, but the characters that you can play are really, really fun and neat to look at. The game overall is just pure entertainment from start to finish. Alright, moving into our top 5. At number 5, we've got Combat Arms. It's a very easy to pick up and play shooter MMO, has many different game modes, loads of different maps to run around in. The game is updated on a regular basis with lots of different maps and gameplay modes, and on top of that, they recently updated with the Game Emporium to where you can go in and actually create weapons that you can't get in the cash shop. And speaking of weapons in the cash shop, there are just an immense number of weapons that you can get out of the cash shop that not only can you just pick up, start running around and shoot with, but you can also trick them out with different things like scopes and silencers and muzzle flash suppressors, all kinds of different stuff like that. Loads of different attachments that you can put onto your guns. A really unique achievement system. All of that different stuff makes Combat Arms a solid offering. And moving on to number 4 in our countdown, we've got Battlefield Play for Free. With large maps for team-based tactical gameplay, tons of places for you to run around, hide out, find areas to snipe, and one of the biggest reasons that the maps are so large is you've got tons of vehicle combat where you can get into things like tanks and planes and jeeps and all kinds of different bunker areas with heavy weapons to jump in behind and take out your enemies. You got different classes that you can play, so essentially you can pick up one of the different classes. You can be a support class, you can be just straight damage as you're running around taking guys out. But like I said, it's team-based tactical combat based upon the Battlefield series. Battlefield Play for Free, not one to miss. Alright guys, here we go, on to number 3 for our top 10 free-to-play shooters for 2011. We've got Alliance of Valiant Arms. Alliance of Valiant Arms, once again, is a top-notch shooter. Graphics, second to none. You've got loads of weapons to choose from, missions and maps. You've got loads of different modes that you can choose from, and tons of maps for each of those different modes. Not only PvP modes, but also PvE modes where you can take and join up with a couple of buddies, try and run through a mission, make it out. You've got different levels as far as your rankings are concerned, but from trainee all the way up through to Colonel level 5. You've got tons of different medals that you can earn in the game. The game is really, really broad as far as its overall gameplay and the things that it has to offer, especially when you just start. You get started, you jump right in. It's real easy to get going right from the get-go with Alliance of Valiant Arms. And like I said, the graphics are top-notch. But at the same time, you're going to need a decent PC to run them at that top-notch level. But you can turn them down if you don't have it. But Alliance of Valiant Arms, definitely one to check out. Alright guys, number 2 in our top 10 countdown for shooters for 2011, we've got World of Tanks. Now World of Tanks is quite different than a lot of the other shooters, as you're actually going to be inside of a tank, rolling around all the different countrysides in World War II, blowing each other up. There's nothing that isn't fun about that. You've got over 150 different armored tanks that you can take, jump inside of, and run around across 3 different nationalities, essentially the Russians, the Germans, and the Americans. You've got large-scale battles with up to 60 players per battle, and the game has already touted that they're getting an immense number of players on individual servers. And so you can just jump in, there's no lobby, it's real quick, you hit play, you're almost instantly into a game. The gameplay is highly unique, and they just did a huge update that allows you to camouflage, add different things to the side of your tanks. You've got horns, all kinds of fun stuff like that. You can trick out each of your tanks and customize each one exactly how you want to play them out. You also level up the different crew inside your tanks. So the game overall just has a lot of depth to it and is just a ton of fun. Go check it out. Alright guys, here we go. Our number one shooter, our number one free-to-play shooter for 2011, Team Fortress 2. Originally developed as a full-featured game, so basically just released to the public, retail style. Flipped over to free-to-play, available on Steam. You pick one of 9 classes, you pick side, red or blue. Basically, you just jump into all kinds of different modes and different maps and just obliterate each other. Cartoon graphics that are hilarious and completely entertaining. The game is just non-stop entertainment from start to finish. All the action is insanely fast-paced, tons of stuff going on. Every class has its own features and different stuff that it can use. You've got tons and tons of different costume pieces, from hats to gear. Not only can you buy in the cash shop, but you can also find throughout your gameplay. And like I said, just immensely entertaining, tons of fun. There's nothing to really almost not like about Team Fortress 2. Definitely something for you to check out. Well, that's it, guys. That was our number one game, and that's our top 10 for 2011 for free-to-play shooters. Hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and all of that good jazz. If you want to go ahead and voice your opinion, head on over to MMODen.com/forums. Tell us exactly which games you didn't like or which games you think should have made the list. I know there's unfortunately a ton that we had to leave out because there's so many good games out there, but these are the games that we thought made the top 10 list for free-to-play shooters for 2011. Till next time, thanks for watching.